Hi everyone, and thanks for checking out today's yoga video on the Yoga by Candace YouTube channel. This video is brought to you by Aloe Yoga, who sent me these really cool ripped pants. They're actually full length, they go all the way down, but I'm a shorty, so I'm rolling them up like this. And they also sent this laser cut shirt, which I really love, and I'm excited to do this yoga practice today on this rainy day. We're gonna do a heart opening yoga flow. You're gonna need one block, so go ahead and grab that block and then have a seat on your mat and let's get started. Okay, so place the block down onto the yoga mat and sit on the edge of it and bring your knees all the way down to the ground. Roll your shoulders back, take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth with a sigh. Close your eyes and tilt your chin until you feel like it's parallel to the ground. Take another deep breath in. So this is going to be an uplifting, heart-opening yoga practice, which is always really good to transform your mood. So if you're finding yourself feeling kind of down, feeling kind of meh, this is the practice to do. So take a deep breath in, bringing awareness to the space between your eyebrows, and see if you can relax that space as you exhale. And then without actually smiling, bring the sensation of a smile to your face. And breathe into that, growing taller through your spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, let your shoulders melt away from your ears. And just for now, take an inventory of what's going on. What are you dealing with? How are you feeling? What's your energy level like? Just acknowledge these points and then see if you can just set that aside for right now. Make a commitment to stay present for the whole yoga practice. On your next inhale, gently remove the block from underneath you. Set it off to the side for now. And then as you inhale, you're going to lift the arms up overhead, look up. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers behind your head. Open up your elbows as wide as you can and look up, but lift from your heart. So imagining that your spine is making this kind of upside down letter J. And as you inhale, get tall through your spine. And then as you exhale, bring your spine to a neutral position and draw your chin in towards your chest. Your elbows hang heavy here and breathe into the back of your neck. As you inhale, gently release your hands. Send your left arm out to the side, but keep both hips on the ground as you lift your right arm, look up underneath your armpit and extend that arm, but then plug it into your torso. Fingers are nice and bright. Breathing space in between your ribs on your right side, and then we'll take it to the other side. Finding length here. And try to keep your extended arm long and strong. And as you inhale, rise up. We're going to do a gentle twist. So bring your right hand to your left knee. Look out over your left shoulder with your right eye. Stay nice and tall. But everything very gentle. Don't force anything. Gently release, other to side. And take it back to center. And then from here, come on to all fours. And then as you inhale, you can just going to check in with your foundation. So spread your fingers, wrists, elbows, and shoulders in one long line. Knees underneath your hips, knees about hip distance. Curl your toes. Then as you inhale, lift your head, lift your tailbone, look up. As you exhale, press the mat away, round your back. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round and press. Inhale, rise up into downward facing dog. First one of the day, so don't worry about it being too textbook with any straight legs or anything. Just make any movements you need to. Pedal your legs out, shake your head out, and eventually find your way into stillness. And then once you're there, take a deep breath in, just acknowledging how you're feeling right now. Exhale through your mouth with a sigh, go. And as you inhale, rise up onto your toes. Round through your spine until you find your shoulders are over your wrists and you're coming into an up dog or a cobra pose. Draw your shoulders back behind you and then bring your knees down. Wide knees for a wide-legged child's pose. Deep breath in, full breath out here. And then as you inhale, we'll round forward once again, bringing your shoulders over your wrists, finding your way into up dog or cobra pose. And then roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot to the front of the mat. Bring your left foot all the way down to the ground, left foot about 45 degrees. Rise up into warrior one. So your hips are facing forward. From here, interlace your fingers behind your head. Little mini back bend here as you begin to look up, reaching your heart up to the sky. And then we'll gently release, bring the fingertips down to the ground and then spider the fingers forward. Once your arms are long and strong, rise up using your back body strength. We're going to come into half moon here. So open up the hips. Left toes are pointed out to the left, flat foot. Inhale, lift your left arm high. You can grab hold of your block if you'd like. Place it on any side that works for you. And get as long and as expansive as you can here. From here, we're going to gently begin to bend the front leg, finding your way into warrior two. And once you're there, you're going to look back at your left foot, making sure the outer edge of the left foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then open up your arms, looking out over your right middle finger. Right knee is deeply bent. Just make sure that your knee does not go past your ankle. And as you inhale, lift your right arm, breathe into your right side body, and then we'll gently windmill the arms down. Step back into plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Come back to your intention, stay present here. Full, deep, powerful breaths. Inhale, step forward with your left foot. Right foot comes all the way down to the ground, 45 degrees. Rise up into warrior one and then settle in. Hips are facing forward, outer edge of the right foot is firmly planted into the ground. Interlace your fingers the way that feels weird behind your head. Begin to shift your gaze up, lift your heart, and breathe. Gently release your fingertips, spider your fingers forward. When your arms are long and strong, use your back body strength to lift your back foot up and begin to find your way into half moon. Again, you can use your block, or if you don't need it, just set it to the side. See if you can put just your fingertips of your left hand on the ground, and then use your left arm like a straw, imagining that you're sucking up energy through your palm. And that'll help you stay nice and upright here. Spread your right toes, put a little micro bend in that standing leg so you don't hyperextend. And then when you're ready, you're gonna slowly begin to bend the front leg and drop back into warrior two. Look back behind you, outer edge of right foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Deep bend in the front knee, hips are nice and even. Look out over your left middle finger, arms are long and strong. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and breathe.
From here, bring your left arm up overhead. Breathe into your left side body. And then windmill the arms down. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Inhale, step to the front of the mat with your right foot. Set your left knee down. As you inhale, lift your arms overhead, interlace your fingers. Behind your head, lean back, but lift your heart so you don't compress your low back. Gently release. Step back into plank pose, and then step forward with your left foot. Doing the same thing on the other side. But we're going to interlace the fingers the way that feels weird, just to keep it even on both sides. Lift your heart so you don't compress into the low back, and breathe. Gently release. Step back into plank. I'm going to go right into pigeon on the right side. So step forward with your right shin, and then look back behind you. Make sure your left foot is straight back behind. And then you're going to puff your chest out, lift your chest up, and then you have a couple options with your hands. Hands can be down at the ground, up overhead, or if you're feeling very flexible, you can reach back and lift your back foot. Before you do any kind of motion with your arms, make sure that your foundation is good. You want to have your hips facing forward. If you are tending to kind of open up to the left with your hips, take that block and just slide it gently underneath your right sitting bone, and that'll help you to stay forward with your hips. So you really don't want to do any kind of major back bending if your hips are not fully open here. From here, bring your hands down in front of you about shoulder distance. Curl your left toes and lift your left knee off the ground. Use your core strength to step back, and we're going to take it to the other side. So as you find your way into the pose, just check that your right foot is directly straight back behind you. Sometimes it just tends to splay out to the side. Roll your shoulders back, puff your chest up, and then lift from your heart here. And then your option to stay forward, stay looking forward just like this. Lifting your arms, bringing your hands back behind your head, or perhaps reaching and grabbing hold of that back foot and doing whatever feels good for you. No real rules here. A lot of people ask me about the front leg, if it needs to be 90 degrees textbook. Yes, it does. But our sedentary lifestyles are not conducive to whipping your knees right into a 90-degree angle. So if your knee isn't there, don't force anything. Knees can be very finicky. So I always suggest just letting whatever happen, happen. The goal here is really to get the hips facing forward, not to worry so much about the knee. Eventually, with time, the knee will kind of straighten itself out, or it won't, and it doesn't really matter. So long as you're not feeling pain, you're good. But especially with the knees, don't ever push or force anything that shouldn't be. From here, bring your hands down, and then we're gonna curl the right toes, lift the knee, use your core strength to step back into plank pose, and then find your way into a child's pose here. Deep breath in, full breath out. And then from here, rise up to sit on your knees, and we are going to go into a camel pose or a modified camel. So we'll start with the modified. Knees are about hip distance, feet about hip distance as well. And you're gonna roll your shoulders back, lift your heart. So notice the difference between this, where I'm just kind of looking forward, and this, where you're almost puffing the chest up. Imagining someone's got their arms right here around their ribs, and they're like lifting and prying you to kind of lean back and lift up a little bit, so as not to compress the low back. Hands can be to your hips, elbows straight back behind you, and just kind of lean here, but lift. Lean back, but lift up, beginning to make the shape of a capital D which you'll see once I bring my hands down to my heels like that. So we're just staying here for now, breathing. And then gently release, come to sit down, facing forward. Don't go into a child's pose just yet. Camel pose can be sometimes really emotional for people. If you find something like bubbling up, if you, I don't know, burst into laughter or tears or whatever, just kind of ride the wave, let it go. You don't have to really analyze it. And really just be attentive to what you need to do here. So we're gonna go into full camel. If you know it's not in your practice, I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you feel very confident and you feel very safe. But otherwise, I would just stick with the modified version. And if you are going to go into the full camel pose, just make sure that you are staying really open through your chest and lifting up, not just relying on your heels to kind of hold you up. So when you're ready, rise up, knees are hip distance, feet straight back behind you. Begin with your hands on your hips, elbows facing back behind you. Begin to lift with your heart, shift your gaze, press your hips forward, lift with your heart, lift with your heart. Let your head go back if that's okay for your neck, and then reach back to grab hold of your heels. And again, lift with your heart, and breathe. When you're ready to release, go right into child's pose. And then when you're ready, rise up. Grab hold of your yoga block. I'm gonna come into a supported bridge pose here. So bring your feet as close to your pelvis as you can, feet about hip distance, knees pointed straight up. Press evenly into your feet to lift your hips up. Slide the block underneath your sacrum. So it's your option. You can put it on its lowest side here. You can put it on the medium side, whatever feels best for you. I'm gonna be right on the medium side like this. And then you want to feel completely supported. So this pose is nearly effortless. The only real thing you're doing is making sure that your knees don't kind of like splay open to the side. It's the only real thing you're doing. Your hands can be on your belly or off the mat, palms facing up, but you really want to be fully supported here. Another thing you can do is just take your feet a little bit wider so that your knees kind of tend to droop inward, and then you don't have to use so much effort to keep them upright. Wherever you are, close your eyes, take a deep breath into this. And exhale fully through your mouth with a sigh. Go, just letting go of anything you're dealing with in your life, off the mat or on the mat, that's kind of stressing you out or holding you back. Just letting it all go for right now. From here, gently bring your hands to your block. Shimmy your feet back in if you've opened them up, and press evenly into your feet to lift your hips and slide the block out from underneath you. From here, draw your knees into your chest. Take a deep breath in. And you can rock side to side if that feels good for you, or stay in stillness. And then when you're ready, we're going to come into Savasana, corpse pose. We'll be here for about 5 minutes, and I'll let you know when the time is up.
Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And slowly roll over onto your right side. And then gently press into your hand to lift yourself up, finding your way into a comfortable seated position. And bring your hands to your heart. Go ahead and close your eyes and find that sensation of a smile across your face. Breathe into that. Just take a second to acknowledge your practice. Tune into your gratitude. And let the calm, peaceful sensation that you feel now help to power you through the rest of your day. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. I hope you guys liked this practice. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks again to Aloe Yoga for sending me this outfit. You can check them out at aloeyoga.com. And if you're interested, you can order my book, Namaste, which is now available on Amazon, at barnesandnoble.com, and at indiebound.org. And don't forget that you can also download my free app, YBC Official app. It's on iTunes and also Google Play if you are an iOS or Android user. And all you have to do is search Yoga by Candace without any spaces, and you'll be able to download it. And there's also an opt-in feature, which features exclusive videos, audio, and blog content. It's kind of like an extension of the blog. So check it out if you're into the blog, and I hope to see you very soon in another video on the YBC YouTube channel.